This is Tanya Brakeman. I'm the creator, writer, and director of Revel, The Audacity of Ecstasy. Revel is a curriculum, and the first weekend of Revel's work starts with a weekend I call Essential Relating. You'll see a few cuts of a weekend like that here.
As much as I love conversations about relationship, what I love more than anything about relationship is intimacy. And what is intimacy for any individual? But we don't talk about that much in relationships. What is your innate erotic intelligence? What in the world does that even mean? We'll talk more about that. We'll see what comes up for you about that. And as we go into the weekend, you'll have an opportunity to find these beautiful threads that connect from reactions that you might have in an everyday common interaction or in a deeply intimate, sensual space, something that triggers and catches you and you're not sure if it's good or bad or right or wrong, and we get curious about what some of those reactions may be connected to. So much of the investigation of Revel's work in our workshop this weekend will be, what are your common and sometimes unconscious associations with expressions? Words like sex, love, intimacy, or power. Those four in particular are a foundation for Revel's work, having some sense of what rises up in you as a reaction to a word, a sound, an interaction, an exchange with another human being. What prickles that thing on the back of your neck or makes your stomach clench that has you then be reactive rather than relatable? How can we move from reactive spaces to relatable spaces in the realms of sex, love, intimacy, power? How might we tap into a more authentic, is the word we hear all the time now, right? But what I like to say is innate, that there is actually an innateness to the erotic intelligence in you and in you and in me. So my desire today is to begin walking with you through a few exercises so that you can become or begin to become more aware of some of those heightened arousals. We want to ask questions like, is that an authentic arousal, or is that purely an associative reaction that I have to some stimulus? Or somebody says the word respect and one person in the room beams with joy and another person cringes in pain. Why is that? Now, this work isn't inherently what I would call trauma-informed, as has become such an important conversation in our relationship world today. But you will absolutely notice in the weekend that there are opportunities and occasions to notice what you might call a trigger, a reaction, or a hook, I don't pose to be any version of a trauma therapist, any layer of it. And indeed, we can notice that in our everyday conversations, particularly around intimacy, those things will come up. Yeah. So Revel's work is more of an opportunity for you to examine, to notice what comes up so that it can be taken into its proper environments of exploration, healing, investigation. And how is it that in our conversations, particularly around relationships, sex, intimacy, love, power, there's so much at stake. And the reactions that we have can so indicate spots that need tending, that need care, that need attention. And yet in those reactive spaces, those reaction states, oftentimes we're not the one who can ask for what we need because we don't even know. Through the weekend, we'll be doing that with a number of ideas about relationships. But the primary exercise of the weekend is for us to come to a centered, like a core of who you are about sex, love, intimacy, and power? From where do you orient your experiences in each of those realms? And from where do you orient yourself to express it and exchange it in the world?